From the deserts of North Africa to the savannas of the South, a silent arms race is reshaping the continent. Some nations are building massive armies, others are investing in cutting-edge technology, and a few are training elite forces feared across borders. Ranked using the 2025 Global Firepower Index, which measures manpower, equipment, logistics, and defense budgets. This is the definitive list of the top 15 Africa countries with the strongest militaries. At number 15, Tanzania. Tanzania, with a power index score of 2.94, maintains a capable and steadily modernizing military within East Africa. The Tanzania People's Defense Force consists of around 26,000 active personnel, backed by trained reserves and a small but organized paramilitary wing. Its arsenal includes main battle tanks, armored personnel carriers, artillery, and a modest air wing of fighter jets and transport aircraft, sourced from countries such as China, Russia, and the United States. The TPDF is well-trained in jungle and coastal defense operations, reflecting Tanzania's diverse terrain and its role in regional stability missions. Its naval forces, though relatively small, operate patrol boats and missile craft to safeguard the nation's Indian Ocean coastline and maritime borders. With a defense policy focused on territorial security and participation in African Union peacekeeping missions, Tanzania remains a dependable security player in the Great Lakes and Horn of Africa regions. At number 14, Tunisia. Tunisia, with a power index score of 2.36, fields one of North Africa's most disciplined and well-trained militaries, despite its modest size. The Tunisian armed forces comprise about 36,800 active personnel, supported by reserves and specialized paramilitary units tasked with border security and counterterrorism. Its equipment includes main battle tanks, armored vehicles, multiple rocket launch systems, and a small but capable fleet of fighter aircraft, helicopters, and coastal patrol vessels, largely acquired from the United States, Europe, and China. Tunisia's military is particularly skilled in counterinsurgency and desert operations, shaped by years of combating militant threats along its borders with Libya and Algeria. The Tunisian Navy operates patrol craft and fast attack boat to protect its Mediterranean coastline and fishing zones. With a focus on modernization, cybersecurity, and interoperability with NATO and EU partners, Tunisia plays a quiet but strategic role in safeguarding the stability of North Africa. At number 13, Mozambique. Mozambique, with a power index score of 2.16, has a growing military that is steadily strengthening in response to regional security challenges. The Mozambique Defense Armed Forces count around 11,200 active personnel, supplemented by reserves and a paramilitary police force. Its arsenal includes infantry fighting vehicles, artillery systems, utility helicopters, and a limited number of patrol vessels, sourced primarily from Russia, China, and regional partners. In recent years, Mozambique's forces have gained significant combat experience through counterinsurgency operations in the Cabo Delgado province, where they have battled insurgent groups with the support of allied forces from Rwanda and the Southern African Development Community. The country's small naval arm operates patrol boats to secure its vast Indian Ocean coastline, which is increasingly important due to offshore natural gas projects. With ongoing training programs, foreign military cooperation, and investments in maritime security, Mozambique is positioning itself as a more capable security actor in southern Africa. At number 12, Chad. Chad, with a power index score of 1,286, commands one of Central Africa's most battle-hardened militaries. The Chadian National Army numbers about 30,350 active personnel, supported by reserves and a formidable paramilitary gendarmerie. Its equipment includes main battle tank, armored personnel carriers, artillery, and a fleet of transport and attack helicopters, sourced mainly from France, China, and Russia. Chad's forces have earned a reputation for their skill in desert and guerrilla warfare, honed through decades of conflict within its borders and participation in regional operations against insurgent and extremist groups. The country is a key contributor to multinational forces such as the G5 Sahel Joint Task Force, working alongside neighbors to combat terrorism and secure the Sahel region. Though its naval capacity is non-existent due to its landlocked geography, Chad invests heavily in ground mobility and airlift capability, making it a critical security partner in West and Central Africa. At number 11, Kenya. Kenya, with a power index score of 1.56, boasts one of East Africa's most professional and operationally active militaries. The Kenya Defense Forces comprise around 24,150 active personnel, supported by reserves and a disciplined paramilitary police service. Its arsenal features main battle tanks, armored fighting vehicles, artillery, fighter jets, attack helicopters, and naval patrol craft, procured from the United States, China, and European suppliers. Kenya's troops are well-versed in counterinsurgency and border security, shaped by years of operations against the Al-Shabaab militant group in Somalia and along its northeastern frontier. The Kenya Navy, though modest in size, operates missile boats, patrol vessels, and landing craft to safeguard the country's Indian Ocean coastline and major ports like Mombasa. With a defense strategy centered on regional stability, peacekeeping, and modernization, Kenya remains a pivotal security actor in the Horn of Africa and a trusted partner in multinational operations. At number 10, Libya. Libya, with a power index score of 1.32, maintains a military shaped by years of conflict and political fragmentation, but still capable of exerting significant influence in North Africa. The Libyan armed forces are estimated to have around 30,000 active personnel, though their organization is divided between rival factions and regional commands. Its arsenal includes main battle tanks, armored vehicles, artillery systems, fighter aircraft, and attack helicopters, many of which are remnants from the Gaddafi era, supplemented by more recent acquisitions from Russia, the United Arab Emirates, and Turkey. Years of civil war have hardened Libya's forces, giving them extensive combat experience in urban and desert warfare. The Libyan Navy, while limited, operates fast attack craft and patrol boats to secure vital stretches of the Mediterranean coastline and oil export terminals. Despite ongoing political instability, Libya's strategic location, oil wealth, and persistent efforts to rebuild and modernize its armed forces ensure it remains a noteworthy military power in the region. At number 9, Sudan. Sudan, with a power index score of 1.26, possesses one of the largest standing armies in Africa, forged through decades of internal conflict and regional engagements. The Sudanese armed forces number around 104,000 active personnel, backed by significant reserves and the powerful rapid support forces, though the latter has often operated independently and even in opposition to the regular army. Its equipment includes main battle tanks, armored vehicles, artillery systems, multiple rocket launchers, and a modest air wing of fighter jets, transport planes, and helicopters, sourced from Russia, China, and Iran. Sudan's forces are highly experienced in desert, riverine, and counterinsurgency warfare, shaped by long-running conflicts in Darfur, South Kordofan, and Blue Nile regions. The Sudanese Navy operates patrol craft along the Red Sea, protecting strategic ports like Port Sudan and vital maritime trade routes. Despite the country's current political and military instability, Sudan's size, resources, and geostrategic location on the Red Sea ensure it remains a major military actor in Northeast Africa. At number 8, Democratic Republic of the Congo. With a power index score of 1.30, the Democratic Republic of the Congo commands one of the largest armed forces in Central Africa. The FARDC, Forces Armées de la République Démocratique du Congo, has an estimated 134,000 active personnel, supported by tanks, artillery, and a modest air fleet. Its primary focus is internal security, as the DRC faces persistent rebel activity in its eastern provinces. The army is spread across a vast territory, making logistics a constant challenge. But it has improved coordination in recent years through foreign training and UN-backed operations. Despite limited high-tech weaponry, the sheer size of its manpower and the country's rich mineral resources give the DRC significant military potential. It remains a central player in the Great Lakes region's security dynamics. At number 7, Morocco. Morocco ranks 7th, with a power index score of 1.12, reflecting a well-equipped and steadily modernizing force. The Royal Moroccan Armed Forces number around 310,000 personnel when including reserves, making it one of the largest in North Africa. Its army operates modern tanks, artillery systems, and armored vehicles, while the Air Force fields advanced fighters such as the F-16 Fighting Falcon and Mirage F-1. Morocco's navy is also one of the most capable in Africa, with frigates, corvettes in plenty, and patrol vessels securing its Atlantic and Mediterranean coasts. Its strategic location at the gateway to Europe and West Africa makes it a critical security hub in the region. At number 6, Angola. With a power index score of 1.9, Angola's military strength is underpinned by substantial defense spending, fueled by the nation's oil wealth. The Angolan armed forces have around 107,000 active personnel, divided into the Army, Navy, and Air Force. The Army is equipped with tanks, armored vehicles, and artillery systems, while the Air Force operates fighters like the Su-30 and MiG-23 alongside transport aircraft. Its navy, though small, patrols the vital Atlantic coastline and Angola's offshore oil facilities. In recent years, Angola has invested heavily in upgrading military infrastructure and importing modern hardware from Russia, China, and Brazil. This combination of resources, manpower, and modernization places Angola among Southern Africa's most formidable forces. At number 5, Ethiopia. Ethiopia, with a power index score of 0.93, maintains one of Africa's largest and most battle-tested militaries. The Ethiopian National Defense Force has an estimated 150,000 active personnel, supported by a large reserve force. Historically, Ethiopia's military strength has been built on strong infantry capabilities, adapted to the country's rugged terrain. The ENDF has significant experience in both conventional and counterinsurgency warfare, having engaged in regional conflicts and UN peacekeeping missions. While the Air Force is relatively modest, with transport planes, helicopters, and a handful of fighter jets, Ethiopia's military resilience lies in its disciplined troops and capacity to mobilize quickly in times of crisis. Despite recent internal challenges, Ethiopia remains a key military power in the Horn of Africa. At number 4, South Africa. South Africa, with a power index score of 0.48, operates one of the most technologically advanced and professionally trained militaries on the African continent. The South African National Defense Force comprises about 74,500 active personnel, supported by reserves and specialized units such as the South African Special Forces Brigade. Its arsenal features modern main battle tanks, armored vehicles, advanced artillery, and an impressive air wing that includes Gripen multi-role fighter jets, Oryx transport helicopters, and C-130 transport aircraft, primarily sourced from domestic production and European suppliers. The South African Navy is among the best equipped in Africa, operating Miko-class frigates, Heroin-class submarines, and various offshore patrol vessels to safeguard its long Atlantic and Indian Ocean coastlines. Renowned for its peacekeeping contributions across Africa, South Africa's forces are also adept in mountain, desert, and urban operations. With a strong domestic defense industry, a focus on high-tech training, and deep regional influence, South Africa remains a cornerstone of African security architecture. At number 3, Nigeria. Nigeria, with a power index score of 0.56, fields West Africa's largest and most operationally active military force. The Nigerian armed forces comprise roughly 223,000 active personnel, supported by reserves and an extensive paramilitary structure, including the Nigeria Police Force and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. Its arsenal includes main battle tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, multiple rocket launch systems, artillery, fighter jets, attack helicopters, naval frigates, and offshore patrol vessels, procured from diverse sources including the United States, China, Russia, and local production. Nigeria's forces are battle-hardened from years of counterinsurgency operations against Boko Haram and ISWAP in the northeast, as well as anti-piracy missions in the Gulf of Guinea. The Nigerian Navy, one of the strongest in sub-Saharan Africa, operates missile-armed vessels, patrol craft, and logistics ships to secure the country's vast maritime domain and oil infrastructure. With Africa's largest economy, an ambitious military modernization drive, and a central role in ECOWAS peacekeeping, Nigeria continues to be a decisive military power in the region. At number 2, Algeria. Algeria, with a power index score of 0.43, stands as one of Africa's most heavily armed and best-trained militaries. The Algerian People's National Army consists of around 130,000 active personnel, supported by a large reserve force and well-organized paramilitary units. Its arsenal is formidable, featuring modern main battle tanks, self-propelled artillery, multiple rocket launchers, advanced fighter jets, attack helicopters, submarines, and sophisticated air defense systems, primarily sourced through long-standing defense partnerships with Russia and China. The Army's expertise in desert and mountain warfare has been shaped by decades of counterterrorism and border security operations across North Africa and the Sahel. Algeria's Navy, one of the strongest on the continent, fields Kilo-class submarines, Miko-class frigates, and modern corvettes to safeguard its Mediterranean coastline and offshore energy infrastructure. Backed by one of Africa's largest defense budgets and a continuous modernization strategy, Algeria remains a dominant military force in North Africa and a critical player in regional security affairs. Finally, at number 1, Egypt. Egypt, with a power index score of 0.22, is Africa's undisputed military heavyweight and one of the strongest armed forces in the world. The Egyptian armed forces number around 438,000. Strong defense partnerships with the United States, France, and Spain have enhanced Morocco's training, intelligence, and technology. 500 active personnel, supported by 479,000 reserves, and an extensive paramilitary structure. Its vast arsenal includes thousands of main battle tanks, armored fighting vehicles, artillery systems, advanced fighter jets, attack helicopters, missile systems, and a powerful naval fleet sourced from a mix of U.S., Russian, French, and domestic production. Egypt's Air Force is the largest in Africa, fielding modern aircraft such as F-16 Fighting Falcons, Rafales, and MiG-29s, while its Navy operates Mistral-class helicopter carriers, submarines, and modern frigates to secure both its Mediterranean and Red Sea coastlines. Decades of combat experience, from regional wars to counterinsurgency in the Sinai Peninsula, have forged a highly capable and versatile fighting force. With one of the continent's biggest defense budgets, extensive foreign military partnerships, and a strategic position linking Africa, the Middle East, and Europe, Egypt remains the ultimate benchmark of military power in Africa.